4 hours late, but then you don't have to deal with all the other stuff. So as an actor, Tommy's a lot of fun to work with.
So having gone to a bunch of these room premieres and see everybody's wacky sort of rituals when they watch it, is there a particular ritual that is your favorite, that you love to see with like the spoons and everything?
Yeah, I do love the spoons. Probably my favorite thing is when Johnny destroys the bedroom. And he goes up to that dresser and he pulls the first drawer out, then he pulls the second drawer out, and he just tosses it over. I love it. I love the whole riff of 1, 2, fuck it.
Thanks again for being here, Greg. So just as somebody who used to act in student films and short films and had to do some weird scenes myself, what was it like having Tommy Wiseau direct you in a sex scene?
You know what? I don't know what the hell Tommy was doing during that sex scene. All I know is that I had to sit on a staircase at 100-degree temperature. It was the most unerotic moment of my entire life. And then his sex scenes were like 10 times worse. So, but yeah, I mean the sex scenes, they make the room what it really is. So,
Thanks.
All right, what's your most fun new filming experience from Best Friends?
I would say driving the California coast with Tommy. He was supposed to be singing Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones, and he broke out some song. I had no idea what he was singing. He didn't sing the lyrics at all. And then probably the most challenging scene was filming him walking up to a birthday cake and just saying, "Oh wow, it's been such a long time since someone wished me happy birthday." It took 4 hours. But other than that, he was great.
Okay, so The Disaster Artist almost ends on this sort of cliffhanger with you going into the theater for the screening. What was sort of the direct aftermath of that screening, and how did like the weeks following sort of affect your relationship with Tommy?
Well, I mean, Tommy expected people to cry during the movie, and they laughed through the entire thing. And then the climactic moment when Johnny blows his head off, people were just roaring with laughter. So I think he was really confused. I wasn't very surprised, but I think I think he was probably he realized I need to change this thing and market it as a comedy. So a week later, it was Experience the Passion of Tennessee Williams, and then all of a sudden below that, Experience this quirky new dark comedy. So I think he just rolled with that, and that was it.
So in the Disaster Artist book, you mentioned how you and Tommy were in acting class together and you had an acting coach. Her name escapes me right now, but after the success of The Room, did you two keep in contact, or did you or Tommy ever end up like getting in touch with her? Does she like know of the success of The Room?
I think she killed herself shortly thereafter. No, her name is Jean Shelton. She's played by Melanie Griffith in the film. I think she's lost her memory a little bit. Seriously, I think, because I reached out to try to see her because I thought it'd be great to take her to see the movie. So I think she remembers a little bit, but hopefully when she watches the movie, it'll bring it back.
Hi. You go from a tear-jerking drama to an action thriller movie. What was your inspiration for Best Friends?
There's a couple things. It was inspired by a real life story that Tommy and I experienced. We took a road trip up the California coast in which he thought I was driving him up there to try to kill him. And then it was also inspired by, I'm serious, I was like, hey, let's get a hotel. I don't feel like driving all the way back to San Francisco. And so I was like, there's one room left at this motel, and I knew the guy, if he saw Tommy and I, wouldn't give us the room. So I told Tommy to meet me around back. And he's like, why do you say that? And then that night he said, I think I have vibration, you tried to kill me, I think. So I thought about that idea and I rolled with it. And then it was also seeing The Disaster Artist. I realized that Tommy really just wanted to be taken seriously as an actor. and no one had really given him that chance. So I thought kind of combining those two, you know, making kind of an LA noir story and putting Tommy in a role that he actually fits.
So it seems like you and Tommy have really embraced the cult status of this film. But I was just curious if you had any insight into what the other actors who were involved thought about it. Do you still keep in contact with any of them?
I think everyone's pretty much embraced it at this point. It's kind of like going through Vietnam together. And I don't think any of us expected anything from it. And therefore it's a lot easier to embrace than if you put, you know, you had something to lose, you've done other successful movies, and then you did this one. But if you didn't expect anything from it, I think everyone's pretty much cool with it.
How did Tommy Wiseau stay fit?
How do you what? Stay fit. A lot of Red Bull.
Are you and Tommy still best friends?
I guess you could say that. I mean, we've known each other now for like 20 years, just about seen it all. Still talk to him in some capacity every day, whether it's strange selfies coming in at odd hours of the night. But yeah, I guess you could say that.
That's adorable.
What was it like working with the Franco brothers on the adaptation of your book, and do you feel, were you surprised, I guess, at what they brought to the table, or did they do anything different than you expected?
I thought they were great. I mean, James really understood the story. He never wanted to make something that was like mocking. He really wanted to be sincere. He never saw The Room, actually. He read the book first. So he kind of was introduced to it that way and kind of came up with the vision of him playing Tommy that way. So both of them did a really good job. You know, sincere with the story, really good sense of humor. And I think they're just both puzzled by Tommy as well.
So I haven't seen this new movie that you're about to show us, obviously, but I have seen the trailer. And I also read this book. If you guys haven't read The Disaster Artist, don't read it, listen to it, because he did the greatest Tommy Wiseau impersonation ever.
Really?
And it makes it that like 1,000 times more cool. But anyways, one thing I noticed when I was watching the trailer is that it seemed like there was a lot of throwbacks to stories that you mentioned in the book. For instance, like in the trailer, Tommy's character is kind of angry that you're dating this girl or whatever. And I think also in the book, you mentioned that he didn't like that you were dating this girl who, you know, I don't think it ended well for you guys. And so what I was wondering is there any allegory between the movie that we're about to watch and the story of The Room?
Yeah, there's a little bit in there because you know, it's taken from true events, and I think that's always been the dynamic between Tommy and I. So there's definitely a hint of that in there.
I was just wondering if you ever found out the name of the dog.
I really wish I spent more time in that flower shop. And I really wish I spent more time with that dog. But it was the very last take that he decided to pet the dog and say, "Hi, doggy." And then we were all just like, let's get the hell out of here. So I went back, and it's no longer a flower shop. So hopefully that dog's still alive somewhere.
Oh.
What was your first encounter with Tommy Wiseau like?
Ironically, it was in an acting class.
Where did you guys go to school?
Gene Shelton in San Francisco. Tommy went up and performed Shakespeare. And I said, I have to meet that man. It was a Shakespearean sonnet 116. Led me not to the marriage of true minds. And then he's like, etc., etc.
So, for like the musical choices for the movie, how'd y'all discover it? Like, "You Are My Rose" and "I Will," and even like the opening score.
I mean, I didn't discover it. No, Tommy hired these like 3 kids off the street to just come in and record music.
Nice.
and that's what they came up with. I suggested Bon Jovi, but Tommy said, "Look, I don't pay 100,000 because you tell me so."
I mean, I love the songs in the movie in like a guilty pleasure form, but
You think the score is pretty good?
I do in a strange kind of fashion, but I like it.
So do I.
Nice.
The scripts that you were giving out, the Greg Sestero version, at the front of it says America, America at party. What does that mean?
Tommy wanted me to direct the room initially, and I lasted one day as the director because he had this guy come in and audition, and I was like, just have him read a couple scenes. Tommy kept him there for an hour and a half, read his scenes, had him read the whole script, and then I was like, Tommy, I don't know if that's the way you do it. And he's like, no, the problem is you. I was like, all right, that was fun. So that script was like the first copy of the original edition that I wrote on there, because he wanted the song America, America to play at his birthday party. So that's what that was on there.
Hey, so as we all know, having a roommate, when you have a roommate, you see someone's special quirks. So what were Tommy's?
Doing pull-ups at 4 a.m. naked, pacing around the living room within my eyesight. And then the phone can't ring before noon. So no phone calls can come through before noon. So it was a good way to start.
Which was more awkward, filming the sex scene with Juliet or actually watching it on screen?
It's a pretty close tie. I would say watching.
Hello. When did it first hit you that the room was going to be as big as it was, and that you'd be like touring the country and talking about it?
It was probably around 2010 at the Ziegfeld Theater in New York when it sold out all 1,200 seats, and it was the first movie to do that since the re-release of Star Wars. Yeah, it was funny. The reporter that was there from Entertainment Weekly, and he's like, "Congratulations, I think." I was like, "Yeah, that's well put."
My question is nothing about the room, but I wanted to know what was your experience on one of your first lead roles in Retro Puppet Master?
I thought it was going to be great. So the room, I didn't think it was going to be great, but I thought Retro Puppet Master was going to be great, and it wasn't. But it was a lot of fun. We got to shoot in Romania around Christmas time, cold weather, castles, but yeah, it was the first movie. It wasn't. Definitely not going to win any Oscars, but yeah, it was a good time.
I've got to know, have you seen Tommy's The Neighbors, and what do you think about it?
I lasted 6 minutes. Did you?
I've seen the whole thing, but only when I've been high, so. I've never seen it sober, so I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah, it's just, it's poisonous. I did, yeah. It's, maybe skip that one.
These are all very serious questions. Here's a very silly one for you. How often do you get El high mark in real life?
Maybe once a month.
Really?
Hi, Greg. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that moment when you realized that, or maybe you knew it all along, but I'm not sure, but when you realized that The Room is going to be the movie that it is, you know, it's, when did you realize that it's going to be one of the best worst movies ever?
Well, I knew when I read the script.
And why did you do it?
What's that?
Well, if you knew it when you read the script, then
I wasn't going to be in the movie initially. I was like, I'm just going to help Tommy make the movie. And then we cast another Mark. Everything was cast. And then the night before filming, he said to me, he was driving me back to my apartment, he said, if you don't do The Room, it'll be the biggest mistake you've ever made.
and you believed it.
I didn't. He's like, look, I get you car. Forget this guy. He doesn't perform the sex scenes properly. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to be on set all day anyway. Why not do it? Nobody's going to see it. And I was wrong.
Thank you.
Hi, Greg. Are there any other movies that you thought are as bad as The Room or as good as bad as The Room?
No, I think The Room's pretty far ahead. I think, yeah, I just don't think you could ever get a movie like The Room because you had it made from one mind who had full creative control and money. I think like that movie we were just watching, Troll 2, like special effects are obviously cost money, so it's easier to fuck up, but The Room is literally just people walking in and out of doors saying hi to each other. So it's really hard to make that as entertaining as The Room is. So I had a bad movie that I like called Johnny Suede, but it's not in the same universe as The Room. I mean, The Room, like Tommy said, it's his own planet.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
All right, well, thanks for the awesome questions.